Hey, good morning, everybody. Pastor JC coming at you live this morning. And I'm out here in Titusville on the Indian River. And right behind me here is the NASA VAB, Vehicle Assembly Building. Earlier this morning, a very monumental launch happened from out here at the Space Center. Good morning, Sharon. Good to see you on here. And I'm seeing some very beautiful pictures from the launch. And so it's listen, Titusville is such a great place to live because you get to see really cool things like this. And my family and I live about 1.5 miles from this place, the river, where you can watch the launches take place. And I was reminiscing this morning about when my kids and I and my wife used to watch the shuttles launch and how amazing it was to watch the shuttles launch. And it's so good to see things happening in Titusville and in North Brevard again, and to watch the space program get some roots again and start to grow and blossom. It's incredible. And so I just want to take a minute and come on here and remind you what a great God we serve. He is the God above all. He is sovereign. And I want to share a passage of scripture with you this morning that is found in Colossians chapter 1, verses 16 and 17. And as I was thinking about rocket launches and space, and it got me thinking about the universe and the planets and the stars and the sun and the moon and everything that exists. And you know, we serve the God who created all of this. You see the blue sky behind me? He created it. See the clouds? He created them. Every tree, every blade of grass, He created. He feeds the birds, and He takes care of the wildlife. I mean, we serve an awesome, awesome God. And if He loves creation that much, how much more does He love you and me? We're created in His image. We're created in His likeness. We are the pinnacle of His creation and His creative purpose. So how much more does He love you and me? And I just want to remind somebody this morning that God is still in control. In Colossians chapter 1, verses 16 through 17, it says, "For by Him all things were created, in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities, all things were created through Him and for Him. And He is before all things, and in Him all things hold together." Did you hear that? He created not only the heavens and the earth, but He created all of the thrones, all of the seats of authority, all the positions of power, all of those who reign and rule, whether they be a king or a queen, or they be a president, or they be a sovereign, no matter who they are, God created them, and He's the one who gave them their positions. Sometimes some of them rule well and rule righteously. Sometimes some of them rule as evil monarchs or wicked authorities. I mean, think about the nation of Israel. She had her good kings and her bad kings. And yet God established each one of those kingdoms and each one of those thrones for a purpose. And so I know we look at our world and we look at everything that's happening and even governmental things and political things, and we think that everything is in chaos and that everything is spinning out of control. But I want to tell you something. Everything was created by God, and by God, all of these things hold together. I shared with our church Wednesday night that God is in all of creation, and He is the glue that holds it all together. And if God is removed from that, if God removed His presence and God removed His Spirit from this earth, every single thing of creation would fall apart. Gravity would cease to exist. The earth would implode. Everything would die without the life of God in it. So I just want to remind you this morning That if on a grander scale, God is holding everything together and He's causing the sun to burn brightly, and He's causing the moon to reflect the light of the sun, and He's causing the earth to spin at just the speed that it spins, and keeps us just far enough away from the sun that we feel its warmth, but we don't freeze. And if He is so intricately involved in all of these things of creation, how much more does He love you, and is He involved in your life? You see, on a personal level, it may seem like things in your life are spinning out of control and you don't have the answers. But God is still in control and He is still sovereign. What does it mean to be sovereign? It means that you reign and you rule with complete and absolute authority over something. That's what sovereign means. You have absolute unbridled authority over something or someone or territory or whatever it may be. And I want you to know that God reigns sovereign, not only over the earth, but over the whole atmosphere, over the universe, over every universe that's out there. Because there are probably universes we don't even know about that have a part in holding everything together of what happens here on earth. So I just want to bring you hope and joy and maybe a little bit of comfort today that those situations that seem chaotic and out of control in your life, God has a different perspective of them. And He is bringing order. He is bringing answers. He is bringing a meeting of your need in your life. So don't lose hope. Don't be afraid. Don't fall into depression. And don't give up. Because our God is sovereign and He is in control. And although it seems like the enemy of our soul may have a lot of power and authority, and he may be working very hard in this day and age, there's coming a day when Jesus Christ will return. And He won't return as a baby in a manger. He won't return as a humble servant. He will return as the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And He will set up His sovereign kingdom, which will reign forever and ever and ever. I love you today. I'm praying for you. Just remember, God is in control. He's taking care of this. Don't worry, don't fear, don't fret. Just hold on to His hand and walk through it all. Take care of yourselves. I love you. God bless. We'll see you Sunday.